Hey, I'm Cyclon. I have prepared my biggest round of the Legion expedition on Cemetery yet. This is definitely going to be insane with 100 maps, using yet again Gilded Legion, Rusted Expedition, Rusted Harbinger, and Rusted Divination. And I'm going to run them all and going to calculate out my profit in these 3 tabs. On top of that, I have prepared Sextants with Charged Compass Legion and Charged Compass Harbinger, as well as 2 random Sextants which I will apply. If I get Legion or Harbinger with those, I will just add those back into the profit pool and buy from myself another Sextant if I have not gotten them dropped. Which then I will use those. Now the reps are just magic, just rare with 20 quality. I have not corrupted them. I think that is more than enough. And yeah, I think that's about it, except one final addition. I have also prepared, almost, I hope I'm going to get two more vampiric drops. I have a full set of 8, tree and recipe, which I will apply assuming that there will be a map with 25 or more double chance to double currency. Those will be when I run those maps, and then I will see what the result will be for that too. I will going to again note down notable drops such as Exalted Orbs, Brother Stashes, or whatever shiny unique may drop for me. This will not be heavy uniques such as if I would have got the Headhunter will not be added to the profit pool, but everything else will be, and I will note all of that down. And with that being said, let's get into the mapping part, and I see you afterwards. And here we are. Sadly, the day after, I wasn't able to directly record afterwards, but I have finished running the maps in one day, just wasn't able to record the results. So here we are with the results, and they are absolutely amazing.
I'm not up to that just yet.
On our step 1, we see all the maps. We see the heist results, we see the scouting reports, we see the gems, the cluster jewels, and some of the incubators. I already sorted out tiny stuff that will not sell. I have sorted out some of the tiny incubators which have a super low priority in running, as I will run them myself again. Will also not include them in the final profit after liquefying everything. Those will just be a future profit. Like, they do have a price, I just like to run them myself. Some notable drops we have gotten are 2 Cortex, 10 Conqueror maps, a few unusual gem blueprints, and then a few replica blueprints, as well as an Aegis Aurora, a Breastdome, this quiver which has a T3 fractured life, and we have also gotten 1 charged compass which we rolled when it was the Mysterious Harbinger, then 3 that might sell, and lastly 1 that I didn't know if it bites itself with the Harbinger one, so I just took it out just to be safe. With it taking them out costing 1 chaos, that is very easy to do. Now in our stash tab 2, we have gotten a lot of Scarabs, a lot of essences, good amount of fossils, our Delirium orbs, a 1 full simulacrum, 24 logbooks, which 6 of are Knight of the Sun, and 1 corrupted Knight of the Sun, which is a bit sad, but what can you do? As well as the currency from those, 2 Brother Stashes, 1 Dragon Heart, which I actually don't believe anymore that it drops from here. I think I just got lucky and got a lot of them over the league. Ambitious Obsession, and Saint's Treasure, Transformation, and Offering randomly dropped from content, and I think the transformation was from a ritual, and a lot of Legion emblems totaling to 22 full sets, and then some more in other ones. Alright, and in the final tab we do have a lot of currency. 11 Exalted Orbs and 16 splinters or shards. Out of those 11, I think 4 dropped War, the rest were from Harbinger, where 2 again dropped from Harbinger, and the others were just in shards. 579 Chaos, most of that again is from Harbinger. 66 Ancient Orbs and 406 Orb of Horizon, as well as 29k Rogue Markers and 297 stack decks. Now if we take a look at the spreadsheet before I will sell everything in bulk, we have here again my listing with the results. Nothing very new here. Listing where interesting drops came in. Listing the spreadsheet, how the Legion was, how many render reward currency I got, how many logbooks, exalted shards, brother stashes per map, as well as how many favorite map sustains I had. Favorite map in this case was my city square. Now what I'm interested in are the total drops. Yeah, so we've gotten a total of 20.8k splinters dropping, averaging to 214. Oh wait, actually I'm missing, totaling to a 214.6. That looks more like a proper number. So let's say about 214 splinter per map, which would mean that we either got 2 legions and 1 emblem dropped, 2 legions and those legions 1 emblem dropped, the rest weren't splinters, or we got 3 legions and no emblems dropped during that map, which should make about the average that you can see here. We've got about 3 rework currency per map, 1 logbook every 4 maps, pretty much on the point with 25 logbooks. We have gotten 1 to 2 exalted shards per map. Now this is infected by my 24 and 20 here, which are the 2 exalted orbs I got dropped from Harbinger. If we would say, okay, those were just stacks of 4 each, instead of that we would be at 1 exalted shard per map, which is still pretty good. However, I think in 100 maps, having the node getting the proc twice is fairly conservative, no, fairly average, as it means we about get one splinter per map, so 100 attempts for them to upgrade. Eventually we should get the upgrade, which makes, in my opinion, 1.5 a pretty good average in Exalted Charts amount. We also got two Brother Stashes, which makes me believe that if you use polished divination scarab and have enough quantity and enough density on your map, that it's not a 1 in 75, but something like 1 in 50 to 1 in 75. Which 1 in 50 would be pretty good, makes this really nicely farmable. And I mean, just comparing it, I only used polished divination scarabs, and whatever I else I had on the map, got two of them dropped. That is a big profit in that department. And finally, we have gotten at least one favorite map per map, which means this league you can sustain every map you want, assuming you have 4 void stones and have a few passive points in the additional map tier rate. Okay, but the interesting part comes now. Up here you will see something new. So we first have our expected results, totaling our 6.4 chaos on average, 214 splinters. Our logbooks were being 1 in 4, and then our average vendor reward currency. Again, with the average prices of chaos is 1 chaos, a splinter is 0.25 chaos, which is again hard to gauge, but I think I actually hit it pretty nicely. We have also gotten logbooks, they're about at minimum worth 30 chaos if you sell them in bulk on Trove. At least I've managed to get that for mine so far. Then we have the vendor refresh currency, which I still would value at 4 chaos on average. I don't know if it's still accurate, but it's, from my experience, it's good enough if you sell Arakalis, not Arakalis, if you sell Astragalis and Burial Medallions and keep the other two. It makes a pretty good average, and minus the expenses, which we will come to in a moment, gives us an expected profit of 47 chaos. Remember that we will come to back to that in a bit. Now, the next thing we have are our expenses. We have run 25 Legion Sextants worth 15 chaos each, 25 Harbinger Sextants worth 15 chaos each, 100 T16 Cemetery maps. I valued them at 5 chaos just for the smooth number. We have Gilded Legions, which if you buy in bulk go for 7 chaos, Rusted Expedition, bulk 4 chaos, Polished Divination, bulk 3 chaos, and finally Rusted Harbinger, even in bulk only 1 chaos. And then we use the Harbinger map device for 4 chaos, totaling up to a total of 24.61 exalt cost, or 3,250 chaos. Now this gives us an expected cost per map of 32 chaos, or actual cost, it's not expected because those are the numbers, but I would say we definitely made our money back. Now I have diverted this, instead of just saying, okay, this is Legion and under that is Expedition, I have made 4 different sections, Legion, Expedition, Harbinger and other stuff, to kind of see where we made profit with and how much profit we made with each section. Now on the first part, we have made, if we would sell just the 22 full sets we've gotten from the Legion, we would get about 15.47 exorts for that. If we would sell everything at the current market rates without bulk selling prices, that would be about 18x. So it would be more exalts, but we would need to find somebody who buys all our Karui, all our Eternal Empire, all our Vol, all our Templar fragments for that to work out. Sometimes that can work out, sometimes it does not. So I'm going to go with the written profit there is from the total sell, but I will go with the mental math with the 5 set. So we made 15.4x revenue again, and it costed us about 8 exalt, making it 7 exalts profit. 7 exalts, not too bad, not too good. I was hoping for more like about 10, but again, that is heavily influenced by the luck of you getting the emblems dropped. In my case, I got a lot of Templar emblems dropped, but barely any Maracas emblems on top of barely any Maracas encounters. I also got a lot of Eternal Empire emblems and barely any Karui emblems, because the emblems of the Eternal Empire dropped heavily as emblems, while the splinters of the Karui often just dropped as splinters. But anyway, 7 to 9 exalts profit from the Legion department, That is very good, but it also has a very high buy-in cost of 8.4x. Now Expedition on the other hand, very cheap cost of only 400 chaos, only the Scarab needed, but we made 13.2x profit if we value the Sun logbooks at 70 chaos, the normal logbooks at 30 chaos, the Burial Medallions at 2c, and the Astragales at Burial Medallions at 9c, and Astragales at 2c. We can see that we made 10x profit from Expedition. That is a very good rate. Very cheap, very easy to run, and very high profit. Something that I will keep in mind for further strategies. And next, Harbinger. And Harbinger surprised me. Harbinger was really good. I have calculated all Exalted drops into the Harbinger department, as well as all Chaos drop and Ancient Orbs, as well as the shards from them. The reason for that is that sure, we've gotten Exalted Orb from other stuff, and we've gotten Chaos from other stuff. But especially the Chaos, it's very hard to say, okay, this Chaos drop from Harbinger, this Chaos drop not from Harbinger, when you just quickly loot the map. Now you could note everything down, be very detailed, but that goes too far even for me who really likes to detail everything down. For the Exalted Orbs, we could say, okay, I got 4 raw Exalted Orbs dropped, those are reduced from here. That's still a good amount of profit, still 7x profit. But I calculated everything in here because I didn't want to have Exalted Orbs in the Harbinger department and in the other department for our revenue, for our profit calculation. I really need to figure out the difference between revenue and profit, or if there is no difference, I could use both. Anyway, we see here that our total gain from the Harbinger are over 2k chaos, totaling to 18 Exalted Orbs. The cost were just 6.8. We had a big cost in Harbinger department using the map device, the Sextant, and the Scarab, and the total profit 11 exalts. That is pretty good. Or 7 if you want to say, okay, I didn't got that many Exalted Orbs. The Exalted Orbs weren't part of Harbinger, are divided out. Well, then it would still be 7 exalt profit. And finally, the other department, Brother Stashes, the Guardian maps, the Conqueror maps, the drops from Heist, the drops from maps, and any big drops I have gotten. Now, the Heist map and big drops, I've marked different color because those are hard written by me. I cannot really filter them out here making detailed calculations because those are things that we've got dropped on the side. We haven't really fished for, we haven't focused on. So while those are part of the end result, and in 100 maps you will definitely get a lot of those stuff dropped, those you will need to hard calculate and then enter there to get your final profit. So if we add all that together, we have gotten about 24 Exalted Orbs from this, and it costs 800. These 800 builds itself up from the base map cost, as well as the Polished Divination Scarab cost. And something's not adding up. 800? No, map and Polished Divination. Never mind, it adds up. I said nothing wrong here. So the map and the Polished Divination Scarab are the cost in this part, and that are the results, totaling to 17 exalt profit from here. Now, I want to look at the end result. We made about 6,000.2k chaos profit, or 48.9 exalted orbs, making us 48.95 chaos per map. Now that is very interesting because if we look back up here, we said 47 chaos per map is our expected profit, and in 100 runs we averaged on 48 to 49 chaos per map. Well, that means the expected profit and the actual profit is very accurately. So that means that you can enter any amount of maps you run, adjust the setting here, then the average chaos, and you will see how much profit you will be able to make with your maps if you just adjust the amount. That being said, those are the expected profits, or the total profits on paper. If we compare that to Excilense, which I've been running on the side, after I sorted out the tiny stuff on everything's tiny, everything that I doubt it would sell, apparently I lost 11 exalts according to Excilense. Well, it's still a 94 exalt total here, which would mean that we made about 70 exalts profit if we minus the 24.6 exalts cost. Now, this 75 exalts would mean that we made about 25x in fossils, essences, and scarabs, which are the parts that I haven't really calculated in much. But we will see that in a bit, because I'm going to go next and I will sell everything in those tabs. Now, a few tiny things I will sell to myself, such as the Guardian maps, because I want to run them for a later project, like Conqueror maps and Guardian maps. I'm not counting the invitations, because those are literally just when you run maps. Those are stable in everything, so it's not really fair to calculate in this in here. And I will see you afterwards with the final number of profit in Exalted Orbs and Chaos Orbs, so you can see for yourself how much profit I was able to make in 100 maps in a raw number, which is a lot more, says a lot more than some numbers on a spreadsheet. That being said, see you in a moment. And with this, everything is sold. We made 77 exalt and 2.8k chaos with this strategy. But before we subtract the cost and give it one final calculation, how many exalts there are at the end, how much we have made, I want to just quickly ask if you could be so nice and subscribe to this channel, so to help me make it grow, or to help it grow. I don't really know the wording for that. It's whatever. Would be really nice. If not, I will have to accept that and just enjoy the videos. Okay, let's give it a calculation. We have 77.5. 0.5 exalted orbs plus 2808 chaos divided for 128. 99.4x. Well, that is a pretty good number. Let's subtract the cost of 24.6 exalted orbs we have from the spreadsheet. Quickly checking if I don't remember anything wrong. 24.6, no, that's it. 74.8, also let's say 75 exalted orbs profit. For 100 maps, very quick to run, taking about a day. That is a very amazing result. Now, as a final thought, I would say Legion is going to be the first thing that I will start dropping when I move on to the next strategy, which I will do now. For the simple reason that while it is still profitable, it is a good to run and it ramps up your headhunter so you can just quickly clear the map. It is a very heavy point investment in the passive tree. If we take a look, that is Legion here, Legion here, Legion here, Legion here. 21 points in Legion. Comparing it to Expedition, which I have 2 wheels of, which are totaling to 11 points, or Harbinger, which is also 11 points. Now Essence a bit more, but Essences is a very simple thing to very easily drop, and it doesn't have no further investment into it. Legion currently, with the investment in points and you need to get it running, it needs a lot, and it does only give back a good amount, not an amazing extreme amount, so might be dropping that. If you want to copy the strategy, it's definitely going to be good as is, but maybe if you know something that is better than Legion, might be worth to pick that up instead, or maybe something that can make Legion more amazing, I don't know. But Harbinger Expedition, super returns, essences, quite a good return. The treants that I run were also good. But I think there right now is also a better combination of on the horizon than the one I was using. I will have to look into that too. Everything overall, 75 exalts profit, good strategy, can recommend. Feel free to run it, make your own exalts with it. It was a lot of fun, it was quite fast. All that being said, have a wonderful day, and hopefully many exalt drops for you.